Welcome to TamTam, the sound of Africa. I am Siaki Tete, your host. Today's guest is beautiful, independent, and ambitious Miss Fatoumata Diallo. Not only is she the second runner-up of Miss Guinea USA, but she went back home and did great humanitarian work, and she just recently returned. And it's an honor to interview her because this is her first official interview. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much, TamTam, the Sound of Africa, for having me, and thank you.
What inspired you to go into pageantry, and why Miss Guinea USA?
Last summer I was part of the medical program, and they asked me for my weaknesses, and one of those was I'm a very introverted person, so they asked me, even though I have that weakness, I need to work upon it. So I decided to enter the pageant to try to test myself and see how much I have in me. And I also want to be a great leader in my country, so the Miss Guinea USA pageant was a great way to put myself out there to people.
So you reside in North Carolina. How did you deal with the commuting rehearsals and appointments? How did that go for you?
Well, since I'm in college, I've had to make certain sacrifices. I have to take a whole week off, but I knew beforehand when the day was going to be, so I was able to talk to my professors and my research advisors beforehand, and I was able to plan out the week without having any difficulties.
You said you are an introvert, so what helped you overcome some of the insecurities you may have had during the competition?
I would say one thing being my family, and also the day when I was on stage, when I would go out, the audience was very lively. They were very motivational, because every time I went out, I felt good energy, a good vibe from them, so it just made me click in my head I have to do really good. Yeah.
How has Miss Guinea USA helped you individually?
As a person, one thing is that it helped me put myself out there to people. That's the biggest thing, because I'm the type that I don't really like to show myself to people. I like to keep it myself. And also, ever since I won my specific title, I've had many big opportunities.
Oh, that's great. Opportunities like what?
The biggest thing was going to Guinea for 2 weeks to promote the mission of helping orphans of Ebola.
So how was it going back home? I mean, how were the people perceiving you? How did they receive you?
It was amazing. One of the biggest experiences I've ever had. And just when I just landed at the airport, there was a whole group of people welcoming me. They actually had t-shirts and everything, and they had a whole team planned. So
were you overwhelmed by everything?
I was overwhelmed. I was all this for me, but yeah, it was amazing, and it was just great.
Please tell us some of the things you were involved in when you went to Guinea Conakry.
The main mission of the trip was to represent Miss Guinea USA in our mission to help orphans of the Ebola epidemic, because the epidemic has been going on for 2 years now. Mm-hmm. And one of the people that's been mostly affected by it are orphans. Mm-hmm. Both their parents have died from disease. So in order to do the job that we needed to get done, we had to go visit different ministries of Guinea, and those included the ministries of Foreign Affairs for Guinea and foreign countries, and also there was the coordination against Ebola. When I went to the ministers, I presented the project to them, and they were very interested. They were very encouraging, and some of them asked to gave me their business cards and stuff like that. So it was it felt incredible to be among the leaders of our country, and it made me feel like this is really it. And another thing that I did beside the ministry, we were able to go to UNICEF, which is an international organization, and they were extremely welcoming. Once they heard our project, they had done something similar to it like a few months back, so they were very eager to hear from us, and they said they were willing to help, so it was great to visit them. And also another big thing in Guinea was I had the opportunity to have my own press conference, which is something I've never done before, so I was a little bit nervous, and I actually did it in French, which was more nerve-wracking, but I was able to do it, and I was able to answer the questions in French, and it was one of the biggest accomplishments of my life because like I said again, it pitted me against my weakness, so it was a great feeling. Another big opportunity I had in Guinea was to meet the First Lady and her team. I didn't actually get to meet the First Lady herself because she was in the interior of the country, but I was able to talk to her team, and when they heard about my project, they were very interested in it, and they definitely told me to keep in contact with them. They gave me their business cards, and I will definitely keep in contact. And it was important to go to the First Lady of the country because, of course, she's the mother of our country, and she does a lot of things related to kids and women, so it will be an amazing opportunity to work with her, and I tend to follow up on that.
Awesome.
Also the Ministry of Guineans in foreign countries, and we also visited many other people, and we asked for help because, of course, the Miss Guinea USA organization is a small organization, so we need all the help we can get. And also to raise awareness about the mission and about our project, I appeared across multiple medias, including television, radio. I appeared in RTG, which is the Radio Television Guinean, Evasion TV, which is also really big, and Guinea TV and radio. So, and the biggest thing that I did was visit a school in Dubreka called Bunturabi Silla. It's a primary school that has at least 30 orphans in their school, and the village where the school is located was very hit by the Ebola epidemic. They were explaining to us there was one family that lost 14 of its members. Wow. So it was a very big thing, and I was so happy to have gone to that village, and let me tell you, Guinean people are very welcoming.
Wow.
They greeted me traditionally with the traditional way of greeting, and they had a whole show planned out for me, which was amazing. And the Miss Guinea USA organization had provided them with donation, which included food, especially with school supplies like chalkboards, pens, pencils, and stuff like that. And they were very happy. I was extremely happy, especially watching the little kids dance, and the trip was a really big thing.
What did you feel when you got off the plane? I mean, when you stepped foot from the plane, how did you feel?
I was overwhelmed with happiness, especially seeing a huge crowd welcoming me, and also seeing family members who I haven't seen in years. So I was overwhelmed, and at the same time I was ready to get the job done. The people were they had t-shirts and everything for me. Everyone, like when I had the crown and the banner, everyone was approaching me, so I felt like a queen.
What touched you the most during your stay?
The thing that touched me the most is the Guinean people. The culture is very beautiful, And even though, of course, we're a very poor country, we're very proud to be Guinean. And we're very welcoming. So I really love that. And so.
Please tell us what your college major is and what your platform was during the competition.
Well, I'm on the pre-medical track, double majoring in biology and French at East Carolina University. So since I'm pre-med, of course, my platform has to be on health, and the main idea of my platform is on preventive health. And I know my country of Guinea is extremely susceptible to illnesses, so it's important to raise awareness about the importance of taking care of one's health, and that is something that I plan on and will do for my country.
Why do you think you got the second runner-up spot?
Well, I believe I became second runner-up because of what I did out there on the stage. I really showed myself to people, and I was very, I guess, like I said before, out there, and the people liked it.
So you, the second runners-up, then you had the opportunity to go back home and do humanitarian work instead of the actual winner. Can you elaborate on that?
So the reason, I guess, why I went to represent the Miss Guinea organization, the other misses could not make it. They had some other things they had to do, and I was given the opportunity, and for me it was a great thing, especially since it deals with the Ebola epidemic, which is related to health. So this was a great way for me to start on my platform and to start on what I plan on to do in the future.
So what does Miss Guinea USA mean to you, and how do you want people to perceive that?
Miss Guinea USA means a lot to me. I had no idea how much I would have gained from entering the pageant and from winning the title. This past few months have been the most amazing experience. I've had multiple opportunities. Like I said before, the biggest one is going to Guinea, and it means extremely great because it helps me with what I want to do in the future, which is to be a great leader in my country.
MLS is a high-end nightclub in Guinea. Now, can you tell us the reason you put your crown to auction? What transpired that night? I mean, you were invited. Share with us.
I was at MLS because Antonio, which is the owner, was very glad to have us there. And the reason for selling the crown is, of course, after visiting Dubreka and seeing we did something, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done. So one of the ways to raise those funds to help our mission and to help us move forward was to sell the crown and to use those benefits to help the orphans of Ebola and help us in the mission of continuing to help the kids of our country.
How successful did you anticipate the whole process, especially with the pricing and the auction in general?
I mean, personally, I didn't have anything. I've heard before of some other queens that sold it really high amounts, so I was hoping it would be that high, but since it was sold to the highest bidder, you never know.
Do you have any goals in mind to accomplish, especially when you go back home?
Yes, definitely. I want to be I'm an aspiring physician, and the main reason for me wanting to be that is I want to return back to Guinea and be one of those, and be a big leader in the medical field. So my main goal, my life goal, is to go back to Guinea to make an impact in my country. And in order to do that, of course, I gotta continue my education here, and while doing that, I can also little by little work on my platform. So, yeah.
What advice do you have for the future contestants?
For future contestants, I would say, number one, never underestimate your competitors. That's one thing, because you never know what someone else is capable of. And also, never underestimate yourself, because I feel like we are our biggest critics. So it's important to think of yourself as the best person that you are. And when you think of yourself in that way, you'll be able to show your best to others. So, and also that means don't think, oh, you are so great that you will not practice. And practice, do your best, keep on working. Don't just sit down and think you're gonna get the title. It doesn't work like that. You have to work really hard for it. So
it is self-evident that you have accomplished so much for yourself. What would you say to contestants that might think that only the organization benefits from their work and not themselves?
Well, of course, as a contestant, you're representing the Miss Guinea USA organization. But the Miss Guinea USA organization main goal is to empower women. When you're a contestant, when you're a title holder, their main goal is to try to provide a platform for you to realize your dream, to realize your future goals, or I guess current goals. And for me, I've gained a lot from winning my title, from just being part of the competition. And going to Guinea, knowing that there's so many people that are looking at me and that see me as someone that's important, that has power, and that are willing to listen to me was a great thing. I was able to do so many things that I never would have thought I would have been able to do, thanks to the organization. And being able to meet the ministries, the First Lady, being able to be across Guinean media, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. And what I would say, of course, you are representing an organization, but you are earning a lot more than you think. And I would say just, if this is something you want to do, just go for it.
It's been an honor to have you, Miss Fatoumata Diallo, for coming in to do your official interview ever since you came from Guinea, doing great humanitarian work. Certainly an honor. Thank you.
I want to thank you for having me. It's been a very welcoming show, and I want to thank TamTam, the Sound of Africa, for having me. Really appreciate it.
And viewers, hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, I am Siaki Tete, the host at TamTam, the Sound of Africa.